Hi, welcome to Professor Kev Show. You see, I got my friend Sunish with us from Flight PAS Movement. Good afternoon, my friend. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Super excited to share my story. And yeah,
I'm excited to hear it. So, before we get into the story, tell us a little bit about yourself as a person.
yeah, of course. So my name is Sunish Kataguna. I'm 17 years old and I'm a senior in South Forsyth High School, which is a little bit north of Atlanta in Cumming, Georgia. And my jam is lung cancer. I'm a lung cancer screening advocate. I'm a lung cancer researcher, and I work for an organization called the American Lung Cancer Screening Initiative, or ALSI for short. And yeah.
It's really interesting to find someone as young as you are that's that passionate about it. I would have thought you would have told me someone very close to you had lung cancer.
Yeah, I get that a lot actually. So yeah, it all started with me joining this organization called the American Lung Cancer Screening Initiative. I've always been interested in medicine for as long as I could remember, eighth or ninth grade. But I think I had really two turning points, which kind of made me, a health advocate. Um, so the first one was in November. So November, I joined this organization and I was, just getting to know how they do advocacy, just getting some volunteer hours. And it was Lung Cancer Awareness Month in November. And one of my tasks was to hang up flyers about lung cancer and, scanning this QR code and if they, scan that QR code, and it'll basically like tell them how to get screened for lung cancer. And so I started hanging up these flyers and I hang up maybe like four on a good day. And
Mm.
so and so I made a video. I was like, you guys should hang up flyers too. And I made a video on Instagram and that Instagram video got like 7,000 views. But at the time, I know that's not a lot, but like for me
What
it
by
was a
my
lot.
standards?
Yeah. For me, it was a lot at the time because I was like maybe a junior, like the beginning of junior year in high school. And so I was really impressed. And, a couple of days later, my friend texted me, he's like, hey, man, my mom, has a history of smoking and, she got a screening because of your video. And that was, one of my starting turning points. It's like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually making an impact, right? Like because someone's about to, get screened because of my video. What if it catches a cancer early? And I was so like happy with the result of the video. And so I decided to, just keep making videos about lung cancer on my social media. And in December, I went to this conference called the National Lung Cancer Roundtable, or NLCRT. And first of all, the conference is amazing. But in that conference, I met two lung cancer survivors, and they gave presentations about, their journey. But I separately, because like the conference was done, and I was waiting for my dad to pick me up, and they were waiting for their flights. And it was just both lung cancer survivors and me left in the conference, and it
Mhm.
was like honestly like amazing, right? And so I had the time to talk to them maybe for like 1 to 2 hours,
Wow.
and yeah, and so I basically just got to exchange experiences, just talk about, how it is and just hear about their life. And I was also able to collaborate with one of the lung cancer survivors on a video. Um, Her tag is One Lung Lady. And this was really huge for me because it was my first collab with someone who was like, super famous. Like she had millions of views. And so I was really happy about that. But I think most importantly, just they showed me really how important the issue is, just seeing it from a patient's perspective. And secondly, like lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer-related death in the United States. And, literally nobody knows about screening, which shows how big of a problem it really is. And the screening rate is also super low. It's like 16 to 18%. When colon cancer and breast cancer is like, 60 to 70%. So it just shows the urgency of the problem. But yeah, that's how I'm super interested in lung cancer screening. And yeah.
So tell me about your idea. What are you doing?
Yeah, for sure. So I started the movement called the Flight PSA Movement. It's basically a movement where I basically go up to the flight attendants and ask if I can give a 30-second announcement about lung cancer and lung cancer screening. And it's a 30-second, it's super quick, but the most of the impact doesn't come from the actual flight, like telling people on the plane to get screened for lung cancer, because sometimes people are headphones or eating snacks or doing all kinds of stuff, and sometimes people don't even listen. Like I barely even listen to the safety announcements. And so, but I think what amplifies the impact is actually posting about it online. I think that's how we found each other. And so it's like people are like, oh, is he a pilot? Like, what is he talking about on an airplane? And so like the idea, the platform is so unique that nobody would, talk about cancer on an airplane, right? And so I think that's where the awareness comes in. Like people are so curious about what I talked about, and that's where they learn about lung cancer and lung cancer screening. But essentially the movement began when other people started, giving these announcements just like I did. And I was super happy about that. It became a movement. But I was definitely inspired by two things. One was I saw this TikTok where a little girl was like singing Moana on an airplane, and that was super cool. I was like, I didn't even know that's possible, right? And another one is related to lung cancer, actually. So the White Ribbon Project is another 501(c)(3) nonprofit, and their founder, Miss Heidi Nafman Onda, she was on a plane, and a flight attendant gave an announcement about their nonprofit. It's like, there's lung cancer survivors on board, and they work with the White Ribbon Project, and she also talked about lung cancer screening. I was like, maybe what if I gave an announcement, right? And so that's where the entire movement kind of started.
What was it like the first time you walked up to the flight person and said, "Hey, can I have 30 seconds?" Was it a
Yeah.
little intimidating? What
Oh
were you
yeah, yeah.
like?
Yeah, it's definitely intimidating because like first of all, when it's traveling time, like I feel like everyone's kind of just moody and they're just like tired or you know what I mean? And so I I didn't know how to do it at the beginning, so I basically just asked right when I got on the plane and she was just like, I need to talk to the cabin manager. This is like she was obviously surprised, right? And so she was like, just come back after takeoff when the seatbelt sign is off. And so that's exactly what I did. But it did feel super nerve-wracking. Just every step I walked towards the front, it was just like people were looking at me like, what is he doing up there? Like, and it's but I think my youth really helped me out, just gave me that courage.
Yep.
And so yeah, so I gave that announcement. It was like 30 seconds. I just showed them the script and I was like I just need to do this quick announcement. And but yeah, there have been really cool experiences actually with the announcement. So on one of the flights, I met a thoracic surgeon. I want to be a thoracic surgeon when I grow up.
Mhm.
Um, and so I met a thoracic surgeon, and he was coming from the same conference as me. And so like the flight attendant came up to me, and she was like, someone from first class wants to talk to you. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. Like I was like, and then 30 seconds later, it's just, like this doctor walking towards me, and we took a picture, and we still talk to this day, which is amazing.
That is
And
cool.
then yeah, and then another flight, I was on the way to I think Denmark for like family vacation. And so I decided to give an announcement there too. Like why not? Like, why not take it into the international skies? And so I also gave the announcement there, and this time they like moved me to the front of the plane. Like they're just like, yeah, we have some space at the front, you know. And so I was like extra leg room and free sparkling water and chocolates and stuff. And so it was amazing, right? And I think it just goes to show like what happens when you stand up for your cause. You get all kinds of stuff, whether that's first class or just like someone talking to you on an airplane. But yeah, those are some of the experiences. Yeah.
That is pretty cool. So, last thing, crystal ball time, my friend. What are you hoping to accomplish in the future with this idea? Where are we going?
Yeah, for sure. So I think the entire idea is to just raise awareness for important causes that people can take action on. So whether it's lung cancer, colon cancer, breast cancer, and I think it's just about youth empowerment as well. Like you can use your voice anywhere you go, and the right places wherever you are, and the right audience is whoever is listening. Whether that be on a plane, whether that be in a classroom. I think everyone should learn about lung cancer screening and there's certain things that everyone should just know about, like mental health. Like everyone should know there's a hotline for mental health for people who are struggling, right? We could prevent as many suicides as possible and prevent as many lung cancers as possible. And so, yeah, I think that's the main purpose.
What's the best way for people to reach out to you if they want to learn more, my friend?
Yeah, that would be my LinkedIn. It's just my first name and last name.
Awesome. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to call the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.